everyone, my name is Catherine Chow, and I'm the host of the Data Standard Audio Experience. And today we have a great guest. We have Sireesha Pulipati, a cloud data specialist from Google. And today we're going to be speaking about cloud data for customers. Welcome to the show, Sireesha. Very excited to have you and just learn more about your journey, just hear more about your experiences.
Hi, Catherine. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm excited to share my experience today.
Yeah. So, can you please introduce yourself? Tell us more about yourself to the audience.
I call myself a data enthusiast and practitioner. I have over a decade of experience building out and managing data platforms. Over the years, I have worked with a whole spectrum of data warehousing and business intelligence landscape, which includes building out ETL pipelines, developing data models, building self-service data platforms for our users, as well as analytical tools and dashboards for the business users. My journey with the cloud started 4 to 5 years ago, and I have ever since been fascinated by the possibilities it offers for any organization, be it small or big, in terms of agility, flexibility, and scalability. I believe cloud is a great enabler of digital transformation and opens the door for the art of the possible by taking away or at least reducing a lot of the drudgery and operational work involved in managing and maintaining infrastructure and IT systems. It allows organizations to focus on what's most important to their businesses. I'm currently working as a cloud data specialist at Google, helping our current and prospective customers solve their business problems with Google Cloud's data solutions, be it migrating or modernizing databases, building a data lake, leveraging a serverless cloud native data warehouse, implementing real time analytics, or building machine learning tools, to name a few.
Yeah, that's all great. It sounds like you do so much for the specific position that you're at for all of your customers. And so, as you work with many customers to help implement products to the Google Cloud, can you tell us more about that? What made you interested in working specifically with customers?
Yeah, I have always been passionate about solving business problems through data. My interest in data and information systems, specifically data warehousing, sparked while I was doing my master's in business administration, right after my bachelor's in engineering. Throughout my career, I helped different organizations with their data and analytical needs through managing and supporting their reporting databases and data warehouse systems. Even today, the thought of getting the right insight to the right person or system at the right time to enable timely decision making excites me. At Google now, I get the opportunity to continue my passion in a much more diverse and fast paced environment, both in terms of the range of problems that I get to work on, as well as exposure to different industries and domains through the customers that I work with. I help with data center transformations by facilitating database migrations. I help with breaking of data silos through building Hadoop based or BigQuery based data lakes and data warehouses. I also help with building batch and real time streaming pipelines, ingesting data from millions of globally dispersed IoT devices, help with data governance and metadata management for the data assets across the organization. Also help with enabling data and analytics democratization, for example, through BigQuery's federation, connected sheets, SQL-based machine learning, and the like. And last but not least, I also help with leveraging Google's state-of-the-art AI/ML capabilities, be it with ready-to-use APIs or using AutoML or even custom model development. So on a day-to-day basis, though, I lead technical discussions with the customers and present relevant Google Cloud technology and capabilities. I'm also accountable for solving complex technical problems and making sure there are no technical obstacles for the customer. What I like most about my role is that I get to be a part of solving varied real world problems. And I like being the customer advocate and helping with their success in tiny and not so tiny ways.
That's fantastic. And it's great that you kind of optimize best way to help the customer in the goals that they have in their business decisions. And it's great that you use data to kind of solve these business problems. And so, how do you determine what is best for your customer?
Every customer has a goal or objective they are trying to achieve through their cloud journey, be it digital transformation through implementing a modern data lake platform, building advanced analytics and AI ML, enabling real time data insights, building future proof applications with modern databases that can scale globally. Or it could be a data center transformation, migrating everything to the cloud, or it could be a cost optimization initiative like many organizations hit by the pandemic had to go through during the past year. It could also be marketing analytics objectives like understanding the customer journey, predicting marketing outcomes, or personalizing customer experience. While developing or proposing a target architecture to implement a use case on GCP, often multiple options are available to be considered to perform a particular task. For example, in the data warehouse scenario, to build a data processing pipeline that moves and transforms data from source application systems to BigQuery, the customer has the choice of using either data flow with Apache Beam or data fusion, which is a cask data application platform with a graphical user interface to build ETL pipelines, or Cloud Composer, a managed Airflow platform, or Data Proc, which is a managed Hadoop Spark platform, or Data Prep, which is a wrangling tool with a rich user interface and machine learning based recommendations for data transformations, or even BigQuery transfer service to move the data first and then perform SQL transformations within BigQuery. Each of these products or services comes with its own unique capabilities and best case scenarios where they are optimal. There are other approaches available as well, like self-managed systems or solutions from the marketplace and partners. I know I have mentioned a lot of product names and approaches here. The intention is not to overwhelm, but rather to highlight the fact that there is indeed a lot of choice out there in many cases. While determining which option is optimal for the customer, I keep the customer goals in mind and I consider several factors, both functional and non functional, that align with customers' objectives. Functional factors may include things like whether a particular product or service allows connectivity to specific source systems or enables required transformations or not, or whether it supports batch or streaming or anything specific to implement the use case at hand. On the other hand, non-functional factors include aspects like cost, performance, scalability, ease of use, skill level required, or complexity involved in the implementation. Extensibility of the solution is another factor, as also open source compatibility. In some cases, more than one choice could be equally applicable across relevant factors, but we choose one over the others, say, for the purpose of consolidating the architecture. For example, if a data fusion instance is already being used by the customer group for a different but similar use case, it might make more sense to leverage the same for the new pipelines as well, instead of introducing a new technology or tool into the architecture. There's no silver bullet here, but I approach each customer with empathy and an intent to serve and act as a trusted advisor to them in their GCP journey. And I always keep their best interests and success in mind.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, what does a successful customer story look like to you?
I like this question. At a high level, the customer comes to us with an objective to meet or with a business problem to solve. And we help them solve that problem or achieve that objective through Google Cloud Solutions in the most smooth or frictionless way. That's success to me. The customer is happy and we are happy. At a more granular level, to me, a customer engagement is successful even when they realize that GCP solution meets their use case and helps achieve their goals and objectives, and ultimately productionize their workloads on the platform. This basically involves many steps along the way, right? From understanding the customer needs, pitching the business value of the solution, showcasing the technical features, highlighting the benefits and differentiators of Google solution, to proving the capabilities through proof of concept or pilot engagements, as well as addressing customers' technical questions and concerns. It also involves bringing in professional services or partners to help with migrations or new implementations. I also measure success along the way across these various phases. And as long as we, the Google team, are helping the customer move ahead, in their technical and business evaluation, decision making, and we are accelerating their migration and implementation journey. We are on the right path towards making it a successful endeavor for the customer. It's definitely a team effort. I have seen in my experience that it really helps when there is no ambiguity in the use cases and the business impact is clear. When workloads are driven by a compelling event or pressing need of the customer to either resolve a business issue or mitigate risks as soon as possible. It also helps when there is strong executive sponsorship from the customer side and when there is active customer participation and resource investment throughout the POC phase or productionalization efforts. These are certainly some of the elements that I have seen that make up a successful customer story.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's a lot of moving parts to having that successful customer in the end goal. So what is the timeline like when you're working with customers? Does it usually take a few weeks or a few months for certain customers? Can you walk me through that?
Yeah, definitely. The timeline can range from a few weeks to even several months, depending on the scope of the opportunity. Is it an organization-wide workload, or is it specific to only as a particular specific customer group or groups? And also complexity of the workload. It also depends on where the customer is in their GCP journey, or in fact their cloud journey. Are they just getting started, or do they already have one or more workloads implemented on the platform? To give an example, a looker opportunity, say for a business intelligence use case for a single customer group, can span as little as 2 to 3 weeks from showcasing its value and proving the capabilities through a small POC to getting customer commitment for production implementation. On the other hand, a large-scale database migration opportunity can at least take a few months. Just collecting the existing database information, identifying at scale the migration targets on GCP for different kinds of databases based on factors like licensing, compatibility with applications, version support, and then assessing the migration effort and coming up with a plan itself would take several weeks. So also, if the customer is new to GCP, there is an onboarding effort to help set up the foundations like resource hierarchy, projects, folders, networking, identity and access management, security, before they can actually start implementing the workloads. Also, some level of customer education and training will also be involved for many customer groups to make sure they are better equipped with the right skills and knowledge to support the solutions being implemented on GCP. So in short, I have seen it all, very short to very long engagements, driven mostly by the scope of the workload, urgency of the business need, customer current maturity of cloud and GCP, as well as changing priorities and resource constraints from the customer side in some cases.
Yeah, and thank you for walking us through that just so we can get an idea of the timeline and just how you work with the customers and just to see their success stories. So, yeah, thank you so much for being on our show today, Sireesha. It was so great speaking with you and learning more about how you work with the customers. And so, we at the Data Standard, we're trying to build a community of data enthusiasts, data thought leaders, so that everybody can have a place where they can network and collaborate with each other. So, what is something the community can do for you?
I'm always eager and curious to learn about the latest trends in the data space, as well as hear about different approaches that are being used and explored to solve both old and new problems. I look forward to making connections to this community.
Absolutely. And I'm sure our community is excited to connect with you as well. And Sarisha, where can our community find you online?
Can find me on LinkedIn. Happy to connect with the community over there and talk about anything data.
Yeah, and that's awesome. So, to our viewers, for more information on the data standard, you can find us at www.datastandard.io. And once again, this episode is sponsored by Pandio. They're the hot new startup in San Diego working on an Apache Pulsar messaging system. So, learn more about their work at pandio.com. And thank you so much, Sarisha, for joining us. We're so grateful for your time and for just hearing about your journey with working with customers at Google. So, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on the show, Catherine. Appreciate the opportunity.